Insurance, protects us in serious times of need, from a fallen tree on your home to making sure that you're covered if that new car you recently purchased is covered if someone hits you as you drive away from the dealership, right? Knowing what coverages are required and what are extra can be a little tricky, which is why we have Christopher Cook with Alliance Insurance joining us to answer your questions about home, auto, flood, earthquake, you name it, he can answer it for you. What you want to do is get your question to Christopher Cook, and this is how you do it. You text us your question. That number is 336-379-5775. Make sure that you text us and don't call us. All right, first and foremost, hey, Christopher, this is getting to be spring weather season. So we're talking about floods and all kinds of things.
It's probably going to rain a little bit, right? We typically, through this time of the year, from now until August, we will get, I think we're past maybe some of the long soaker kind of days, but we'll get massive storms that drop a whole lot of water very, very quickly, and we'll see flash flooding. And you and I will be talking about, well, would these people have been insured had they bought a policy? So encourage your viewerships to consider getting a flood insurance policy now, because there's, as you and I know, there's a 30-day waiting period on when a flood policy goes into effect from the time the application is signed.
And we want to make everybody really aware that your homeowner's policy does not cover flood. You have to make an extra policy for flood.
That is exactly correct. Yes, ma'am. There is no flood coverage on a homeowner's policy in our state.
Now, does that include like the rain that comes down from the ceiling, or does that include like when the pipe bursts inside your house?
Right. So we're talking about weather-related floods, a pipe rupturing in your home. You got a second-story washing machine upstairs, and the pipe ruptures, or somehow a toilet overflows, or those plumbing failures are covered, provided they're sudden and accidental, which is a whole other conversation. But sudden water in your house from your plumbing is insured against, but rainwater is not.
Rainwater is not. Okay. But we also are going to get not only storms that have the rain, but also the wind and the hail. I recently just got a new roof. That was an experience for sure. What happens if you go through one of those times where you think that there could be wind or hail damage?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that happen there, but the first thing is we need to report a claim and discover whether we want to turn that claim in. Most of the time you do, if you've had hail damage to your roof, unless you've chosen to carry a really high deductible, say $2,500 or $5,000. We're starting to see clients make that choice. But find out what your damage is, compare that to your deductible, report a claim, get your repairs made. And then something that we forget to do, because this isn't automated, unfortunately, from claims to service, let our insurance company know, and yes, they should know because they wrote the check for the claim, but remind your agent, hey, my roof is now from 2021 or 2019, whenever you had your roof replaced. That's an underwriting factor on your homeowner's insurance policy. You can get a discount for having a newer roof, and you should get a discount for having a newer roof.
It's interesting because they pay out, right, for the roof, but then they also give you a discount for the new roof. But I'm all for that, so okay. Absolutely. All right, let's go to auto insurance. A lot of folks think that they're covered in the event that something happens, and a lot of times they find that they're coming up short because they don't have a specific kind of auto insurance.
Yeah, comprehensive and collision are what you and I talk about most often. Occasionally we'll see that someone's left off towing or rental reimbursement from their policy as well. But comprehensive and collision, you have to choose to add to your policy, and that is the coverages that are going to protect you from essentially a wreck or just physical damage to your car. Anything you take your car to a body shop for, you want to have comprehensive and collision to protect against those damages.
Yeah, and that's something that you need to talk to your insurance person about, and specifically say, hey, if a deer hits me or if a tree falls on my car, am I covered for that? And again, that is called comprehensive coverage. So this person is asking, who pays for a chipped windshield while driving down the highway?
That falls under comprehensive coverage, and I assume that they're alluding to the dump truck driver in front of them should pay it, or for the guy who threw out the bottle or whatever. Long and the short, we can get into the weeds, but long and the short is your comprehensive insurance policy pays for the chipped windshield.
Right. And so you may or may not have a deductible that pays for the windshield, or it may be out of your pocket.
Correct. Yeah, some companies offer a $0 deductible and customers will choose that. Some customers say, Christopher, give me the cheapest thing I can get that my bank will let me drive this car with. And so they choose a higher deductible, usually $500. Most windshields don't cost $500 today. So your deductible is relative.
Yeah, and you'll be paying it for sure. Okay. All right, we're going to continue to take your text questions. We're going to be right back. We've got one more segment talking about all things insurance.